Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to take a look at the Arosa Linie, or the Arosa line, or Linie. Takes place in Switzerland, and we basically take this train up a mountain. This is the city of Chur, and we are to take this train up to the city of Arosa, which is at the top of the mountain pass. We're going to do some of this during this winter, and we'll do a little bit in the summer so you can kind of see what it looks like. Here's the engine. Anyway, this is a DLC for Train Sim World 2, and it is the first, as far as I know, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't think I've seen any other narrow gauge railways for any train simulator ever. I think this is the first one that is actually a narrow gauge train. So we're going to take a look around the train first, and then we'll get going with our mission, but I'll restart it so that we can take a look. So we have a custom-made engine here. This is the, I think it's like, is it GE44, I think is what they call it. It's like a 4-4. And very, very nicely modeled. Dolmat EMS. And then we have a matching narrow gauge passenger cars that go along with it. Several different cars, and this is pretty cool stuff. Like I'm not, once again, a huge passenger train lover. I get irritated that Train Sim World only ever puts out passenger lines. Like, they rarely ever do freight, though we got the Clinchfield recently, and I hear that there's a third-party developer working on another train line that's an American freight that takes place, I think, in Arizona or New Mexico, somewhere out there. And so I'm looking forward to that. But this is the first, also, third-party DLC for Train Sim World / Train Sim World 2. And so kudos to the developers that made this. Thank you so much for doing this, because I found this is probably the first passenger train line that I actually like. That's not true. I've had fun playing the Saltburn train line, and then also the Leeds to Manchester. Those are fun. I like these kind of classic railway line passenger trains. So I'm not opposed to passenger train operation. I just like the freight too, and I wish we had more of it. But this is awesome. So once again, great looking engine. And then we'll go into the passenger cars and take a look. I think people are going to start coming in like zombies. Oh, they're filling up the train. Look at the interior, like really cool interior design. There's some kind of button press thing that you can do that calls the train to stop, but it doesn't. Passengers don't really do it. It's kind of a unique feature. No. But look here, this is kind of cool. So like we have a first class here, and then this is going to be like regular economy. Look at the heater there to keep people warm. This girl's kind of sat through the seat. Oops. Maybe they'll fix that. She looks very uncomfortable. And then we have the back of the car where we have like a, maybe people can, like a conductor or something can sit here, or another train line operator, and then doors to go outside. And we'll go through the next car, because these cars I think are all the same, but we do have different cars here. Once again, maybe like a first class area or business, and then economy. And I think this third car is the same. Pretty cool. But being in the Alps region, you have people that ski and bike and hike. Is there a restroom here? I think that's water closet. That's the restroom. The restroom. Looks like maybe a station for, once again, the conductor back here. And a private. Like, this is the conductor's booth, yeah. And then we have, and I know it's a little dark because it's snowing out. And then we have the bicycle area. This car is like a area to put bicycles and other camping equipment, probably ski stuff. Hooks for people that want to stand in here, I guess. But that's neat. You know, like what a cool thing. And you can actually turn the lights on and off in the train. I forgot to do that up in the engine. So I'm going to restart the scenario, and we're going to run for a little bit and go up the mountain, and then we'll go and switch to a summer scenario. But once again, I really, really, more than I thought I would, I love this route. This is the kind of stuff that I like. It's a very challenging route. I have not come down the mountain yet, and I'm not ready to yet. I've gone up the mountain, which is a little easier, and you'll see that today. But I will have to work on going down the mountain. No, I don't want to give control. Okay, So I'll get this restarted. All right, so we're back. So let's go ahead and play with the engine. First thing we're going to do is cut the brakes in. We do need to open the door so people can get in the train. We need to, let's see, we're going to turn power on. So the master switch is on. We need to raise the pantograph. The main switch is closed. Okay, so we're good there. Compressor's on automatic. Fan speed is on weak. Train line on. Train lights on. We're going to put the headlight selector on 3. That's the only one I can figure that actually does anything. Warning lights, 0. Rear lights, 0. We don't want to turn those on. Cabin lights on. There we go. And the passengers are still loading. Putting the train. Actually, we're going to leave it in neutral for a bit. Now, this train also does have a very nice electric brake. We need to wait for another minute. So let's go. I want to see real quick. Did we turn the lights on in the train? Did they actually come on in the passenger cars? Yes, they did. Okay, so that switch works. Cool. Yep. So the lights are all on because it's kind of a cloudy day, so you can do that. I think that's pretty cool. Come on, close the door. Close it. Duh. No, I don't want to climb the steps. There we go. Okay. And we still have a red. Yeah, we're still operating on red, so we can't go yet. The step trigger is a little hard to find. What is that? Handbrake is released. Okay. We're going to go here. And we're going to turn the wipers on. We're ready to go. Let's go ahead and lock the doors. And one of my favorite things about this DLC add-on is the horn. It's ridiculous. But listen. Oh, yes. I love that. And we got a green, so let's go ahead and start moving. And we're going to turn the driving wheel on 0.5. Oh, I never put the train into gear. I'm stupid. Okay, let's go. And we're not getting any power. That's not good. What's going on here? What did I do wrong? I've released both the brakes. Vacuum pump is on. Sander's released. We've got the brakes cut in. Cab lights are on. What am I doing wrong? This always happens. Fan speed weak. Pantograph is raised. We have electricity. Yeah, I'm not getting any power. Let me figure this out. I'll be back. All right, for some reason, raising the pantograph didn't work the first time. I had to re-raise the pantograph, and now we're on our way. So, like usual, I'm late. This almost always happens to me. Right now, we have the nice thing about this engine. If you look at the drive and control wheel up on the left there, or on the right when I open it, it's notched to kilometers. So if I put it on 2, I'll go 20, and the speed right now is 20. So off we go. And so this is pretty neat because we are driving right through the center of town. Once again, things that I love about this route. Stuff like that. It's very unique. And we have some seriously overactive wipers. I wish we had a speed control. There's got to be. Is there a speed control wiper? No. No speed control. 0. You can just grab it and go every once in a while. Pretty cool stuff. And so right now we're a kilometer away from where we're supposed to go. We got the white light, which means go, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. And one of the things I like about this route, once again, is you set it and forget it when you're climbing. Now, I don't know about coming downhill. Once again, I haven't done that part yet. We'll see. But I love the details in this. And the Alps look beautiful. Now, one of the things that people complained about that I did see Well, now hold on. We got to stop here. One thing people were complaining about on this is that they said that there's like the mountains aren't super high detail, and I agree with them. They are kind of low detail, but I don't know how else they would do it. They're using the scenery that they're like the engine, and you're kind of stuck with what the engine can do. So I don't. Oops, that's not what I want. Nope, that's not what I want either. Unlock right. There we go. Are we behind? Yeah, we're supposed to be there at 10:12. We're here at 10:14. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But anyway, the scenery is not super high detailed in the mountains, and fog kind of helps it look better. So if you're on a foggy day like today, it's pretty good. But on a sunny day, it's not super high res, and that's, you know, people are complaining about that. I don't know. I don't mind it too much. Let's go ahead and turn this off. And we're still at 25. We got a green light ahead. Let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. So anyway, that's a complaint for some people, but I think it's nicely detailed. I love this. There's just so many pretty scenic spots in this route. Yeah. The mountain train route. So yeah, anyway, if you're looking for some kind of cool, you know, something a little bit different, I think the Arosa line brings it. And it's like I said, it's well done. Once again, there are people that don't love it. You know, like I said, there are people that complain about everything, honestly, with Train Sim World 2. I don't know why that is. There's a lot of, like, hate reviews out there. Like, man, there are some bugs in the game, but I mean, this is a train sim. There are always bugs. There's always have been, always will be. For what it is, I think it's pretty impressive. And just once again, the cool scenery, very unique. That's the engine house for the trains. It looks like that's probably where we're based out of. And we're going to start our climb. Now, the engine is kind of neat. It responds to the hill level, so you don't have to like increase the throttle when you start going uphill. The engine will automatically increase for the setting that you have. So I'm pretty bad at explaining stuff like that, but you set your throttle to 25 kilometers an hour, and no matter what the grade is, the engine will work to achieve that speed. And it has enough power that it can actually achieve that speed usually, even if you're on a pretty steep grade. Once again, we're going uphill 2.3%. Now, the gauge is wrong because we're running the engine what the game considers backwards. You can see there the gauge is showing that we're going down a 2.3% grade, but we're actually going up a 2.3% grade. I don't know why it does that, but and so we're cruising now. We'll cruise up to the next platform, and then we'll switch over to summertime. So I like the scenery in winter. This is actually the first time I've run in winter on this route. Which is cool, because, I mean, obviously you get that a lot in the mountains. But I also think that the summer textures are not bad. Let's see, rear view mirror on. There we go. Open that up. Now it's open. Doesn't really do us any good. But. And we have some cool things like snow sheds in case there's a collapse, an avalanche. We're covered. Another thing you'll notice on this route, there's a lot of tunnels. That's pretty cool. And the speed limits on this route do match the notches. Now, one thing that people have complained about is that the timetable's really, really difficult to maintain. And of course, you saw there with the late start, we're going to be way behind. The couple times that I've played this, I've been happy when I've been like 6 or 7 minutes late to the last station. But I don't know. And the nice thing is you can pretty much finish the whole route in about an hour from start, like from one end to the other. So it's not too long of a play to come on here and run a passenger service up the mountain or back down. But it is fun, and you do run into other trains coming and going on the services. I'm doing just the regular services. Now, I do know they also had some log cars that they included, so occasionally you may find a mission where you have to pull log cars, or you can make your own scenario where you can, pull log cars, so that's pretty cool. Sorry about the sniffles. But the detail's really nice. Once again, I really think that this is a nicely done route. Stuff like these brick wall, like the retainer walls, are really cool. And this is going to be, we're going to be here for, we got 5 kilometers to go before we get to the next station, so we're going to be just pretty much on a climb here. Speed limit's going to drop down to 30 here in 2 kilometers. We got a ways to go at the speed too. Now, one thing, once again, because I'm running reverse going up the hill, it sees the back of the train as the front. That's why when I do the cameras, it always goes to the back first. That's a little annoying. A lot of cool bridges, a lot of cool stonework on this route. So for those of you that follow my channel closely and are part of my gaming channel, and you guys go on Facebook and check out the content that's there, pretty much every night I post a video. It goes on to YouTube, obviously, and then we share a link to it on Facebook. If you want to be part of the Facebook group, it's Arthur's Gaming Channel, and you can look that up and it'll come up on Facebook. There are 3 simple questions that you need to answer. You can answer them with all seriousness or silly, or just put one-word answers. As long as you answer them, you'll get in. Kyle just wants to make sure that everybody on the channel is legit and that we're not getting any bots. So that's all we ask, is that you answer the questions, and then you'll be part of the group. If you go on there, though, today I posted, or yesterday, I guess by the time this video gets released, I posted pictures of my mom's house. For those of you that have been following the channel, you guys know that my mom sadly passed away back in January. And since then, I have been on a mission to get that house ready for sale, and I am finally done with the house. It has been a definite challenge to get there, but we have finished cleaning the house, and it is all set. So I posted pictures today of what the house looks like finished. Not all the pictures. There are still some pictures I didn't post, but I think it's going to sell. It goes up on Saturday. I bet you we sell it on Saturday or Sunday. The way the market's going right now, I think the house is going to sell in a day or 2. We have a price to sell, and I think, honestly, we'll probably end up getting a small bidding war, and some developer will buy it and either burn it down or turn it into a nice house. So we'll see what happens, but anyway, it's there. Oh, look, stumps. That means we're going to, those are the logs probably that go on the train. We have mostly short tunnels. The only long one we have is right before we get to Arosa. Don't think I'll be showing you that in this video, but we will do a full service run in a video here soon as we continue my Train Sim series. Definitely been having fun playing this game lately. And I don't know why. All of a sudden, I just got in the mood to play Train Sim World and realized it is a really great game. There are some things that are difficult about it. We definitely have things that are you have to be an expert to know. And I'm not, so I get in here and like that, like knowing that, oh, the pantograph needs to be re-raised. I must have done it in the wrong order. and for whatever reason it didn't like it, and so I got a slap on the wrist for that happening. And because of that, the train wouldn't move. Certain trains have certain like hidden brakes that you need to fix or set before you can leave, and I run into that all the time because I'm a goofball. All right, we come out the other side here. Once again, you can see this is just a really cool route. Love the narrow gauge look, like that. The little mountain rails like close together, and coming up to a little town here, it looks like. Cool viaduct, like that's really neat. We're pounding our way up the tracks. Sweet. So when we arrive at the next via location, I'm going to stop. I know we're not supposed to, but we're going to pick up a different consist. We'll take a look at the log train and then bring it back down the mountain. And then, we'll explore the route later on, but I just wanted to show you, kind of the base idea of what everything looks like, and I think it looks really good. This has been, once again, I'm not a huge fan of passenger service, but this kind of stuff I love. And I do like I said, the Manchester Leeds route is really cool. The Saltburn route, Saltburn to Teesside, that's a really nice route. They've done a good job with that. And we'll definitely do some content on there too. Look at those. I mean, once again, this looks really good in foggy, snowy weather, and I think it looks good in the sunny weather too. But there are people that will complain about it. So. Maybe it's not as highly detailed as they wanted it, but it looks good. It's like Euro Truck 2 at least level, if not better. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Look at that viaduct. Cool stuff. Makes my legs feel funny. I don't know about you, but the heights thing. If I ever went to Europe, I would definitely seek this train out and try to take a ride on it, because that would be fun. It'd be fun to ride it up to the top of the mountain. And it's crazy how huge Arosa is. Like, it's a giant town, like up in the middle of the mountains. Big mountain over on that side. This reminds me when I went up to when I was in Washington State, and it was still like early year. I think it was like February or March, and the mountains still had snow in them. And I wanted to go up to Mount Rainier, and this was about as close as I could get. But this is what it looked like. It looked just like this with the snow and stuff. I remember taking photos and being like, "Wow, mountains are so beautiful." Coming from Ohio, it's pretty dang flat. We don't get to have exciting scenery like this or anything like that. No mountains in Ohio. I mean, there are, in southern Ohio, there's some pretty cool stuff, but in the rest of Ohio, not so much. Poor Ohio. Flat and boring. That's not always a bad thing. And it's a good tornado magnet. All right, so we're coming up to the platform here. I'm going to put the power down, and because we're climbing, it'll lose speed pretty quick. pull into the station here. I slowed down too early. That was just a little joke. We'll speed up. We were much further than I thought initially. And once again, guys, I am so sorry about the sniffles. It's that time of year. The trees are starting to bloom, and it's inevitable. Once we hit middle of April, that's when I start having allergy problems. And this will run for about a month and a half. And then I'll be fine, but I'm going to have to go to the store and get some allergy medication. I can tell today already that I'm just going to have issues. That's how it is. It snowed last night here in northeastern Ohio. Yes, that's right, April 15th, and we're still getting snow. And I mean like heavy snow, but it's melting now. It's mid-afternoon, and the snow is probably 80%, 70% gone. Areas that didn't get sun haven't melted yet, but the sun's coming out now, so it's going to melt. So, once again, I do give this route a thumbs up, and I got to be honest with you here. Oh, there's a stop ahead anyway. We're going to have to stop and wait for the next train to come down the mountain. So, we'll let that happen, and then we'll go to the next scenario. I got this one, and oh, he's waiting already. Look at, oops, because we were so far behind schedule, he's already waiting for us. Unfortunately, oh, look at how cool that is. I love stuff like this. We got a yellow signal ahead. Hi, everybody. I did want to throw out there a thanks to Natalie at Dovetail Games for allowing me to take a look at this route for free. That has been a big help for my channel because I can't afford, these are expensive and I can't afford to buy them all. So, but I do want to bring content to you so you guys can take a look at them and see what you want to buy and if you're interested. Now, once again, I mostly will be covering like North American stuff because that's what I'm interested in. But this kind of stuff really does intrigue me. So anyway, I wanted to throw out thanks to Natalie at Dovetail for providing this copy. And so hopefully you guys enjoy this. And we're going to go ahead and grab the log train, and I'm going to come back down the mountain. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome to Chur Station. You're assigned the whoops. Okay. Chur Station. Wait a minute. Let me look at the map. Now, I think there are some branches on this map. No, we're in the same place. Okay, so usually I think where we start is over here. Like in this area, but like here. That's the main station, I think, so. Climb aboard the locomotive. Now, I wanted to show you, I'm working on a green variant of this engine. I can't get the decals. Unfortunately, in the train editor, there's no decal. There's pretty bad, like, decal support. Okay, we're going to turn our lights on. Let's do all this stuff because they're not. First of all, they don't give us the cut-in. We need to cut in. Cab lights are on. Actually, cut-in I don't think matters until you are attached to the train. Let's turn our warning lights off, and our headlights are on 3. Pantograph is already raised. That's all set. So let's go ahead and release the brakes. Okay. Stop at Chur Platform 2. Platform 2. So this is what the layout, or the route, sorry, old school, model railroader. This is what the layout looks like. This is what the route looks like in summer. I think it looks pretty good. Once again, yeah, the mountains in the background are a little rough. You know what? And so they're rough in American Truck Simulator and Euro Train Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator. That's just how it is. I think people that get upset about that, they're being a little nitpicky. They're a little bit better, like Sandpatch. The Sandpatch route looks gorgeous. This one does have a little bit of a cartoony feel. Once again, this is a third-party developer. I think they've done an excellent job. And I think this is well worth the money. It's a good-looking pack. So I'm sorry, I don't necessarily agree with those that are like, hey, this looks, it's not good looking. It looks great. It's a nice looking sim. Probably speed it up a little bit here. What a cute little engine. And so this is Chur. I've never been to this side of Chur before. Huh. I didn't even realize this existed. There's our log consist. So I imagine we're going to drive around it and pick it up. 2 cars of lumber. And that probably is all this can pull. I mean, that's probably a pretty heavy load for this train. And turn this back on so we can see. There's the dynamic braking. And I'll pull the independent brake. Just slide right in here. Couple to formation. All right. Well, I'm assuming. Wow, these guys do not get to see anything. This is rough. Now, one thing that I've noticed that is a little bit broken. First of all, the mirrors don't work. I cannot do, even if I open the window, the head out goes to the wrong side. So you can see here, I pressed to the right and I'm looking out the left windows. And then I press again and now I'm looking out the correct window. So we'll leave our head here. And turn up to 0.5. What? They told me to... Let's try this again. All right, I'm in reverse. We're going to ask the signaler. Okay. Nope. Nope. Come on, Arthur. Okay. We can go at restricted speed. Backing. I don't think in Europe they use the same signals we do, but why not? I like the hum of the electric engine. Blocked. That was cool that these signals actually changed. That was neat. I mean, I see that in other routes, but usually if there's a red, they just say, go ahead and proceed, and then it still stays red. That was neat to see it actually change to a different color. Sorry. Do. Don't want to ram it, you know. Ramming speed. These people are watching as I ram. I don't know. I don't know if these are automated couplers or not. They probably aren't. Keep it down. Slow. Slow. Boing. Nope. Other way. Okay, that should work. Okay. So now we got to go back in the engine and get myself back in. There we go. Okay, so now we have to go and actually hand couple that. Like the old school. Awesome. Go to other socks. 4.5 kilometers. We're not going to go that far, but just want you to see this, and then we're going to cut in. All right. We're going to start moving ahead with our freight of logs for the RHB Railroad. Is that going to be too fast? Nope, that's 20. Okay. Sweet. Record. Pulling out of Chur with a load of lumber. So cool. Yeah, so I like this route. I think that once again, and I'm not going to get like crazy with the video here. I think we've gone long enough for you to get an idea. We will do some runs up the mountain and back down the mountain so you guys can see that in some future episodes. But I really do like this thing, and I'm once again, I'm not a huge passenger buff, but I do like this specific railway. And once again, it's a cool, unique setup that you don't see in most of the passenger routes that we have are just high-speed trains that go along a straight line through most of Germany and some of England. There's not a lot of this like cool like backyard train type, you know, toy train scenarios going on. So I really like this. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I definitely had fun making it, and I think we've given you a good look at the Arosa to Chur line. You haven't seen Arosa yet. Like I said, that'll be in a future video. But I think as far as, you know, getting the idea of what this is and what it does, this is a pretty unique route. And I think, you know, with the engine and stuff and the cars that it comes with, it's all custom made. Once again, what I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I really think that this is the first narrow gauge railroad that has been done in Train Simulator, if I'm not mistaken. So at least in Train Sim World, but I'm pretty sure in general we don't see other narrow gauge railroads. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen like Denver and Rio Grande or anything like that. But anyway, it's still really cool stuff. So have a great night, guys. Be sure to subscribe, thumbs up, always help, and we'll see you next time on the Arosa Linie. Linie. Have a great night, guys. Bye.